Obor.
Considered easy, but strip away food, armor, weapons, and it's a different story. My saving grace? The Staff of Air. Or is it? This essential upgrade will take me over 700 hours, unless I can work out an alternative. I'm locked to Edgeville, and this is my journey. Welcome to Chunkville. Here we are again. So I've picked up my items from the last death, but I'm actually going to go straight back in. Because after some research, I should be able to get a kill with my stats, and also it does not require prayer points. Since there's no altar, that's pretty essential for it to be repeatable. Let's go in and start a kill so I can visually explain it while I talk. So this method is called the red X method. If you stand under a monster that is attacking you, then click on an object you can't interact with, say the door. Since there's a literal rock wall between me and the door, for some reason, don't ask me, it stalls Obor's animation. After that, you attack Obor, walk under him, then click the door, all within 5 ticks or 3 seconds. Then wait for the health bar to disappear and repeat over and over again. This pretty much is a much riskier version of flinching. Did I mention that clicking anything else, like say food, disrupts a stall and can very easily get me killed. So no matter how low my HP is, eating is much riskier than just focusing on getting the attacks perfect. First attempt failed, but it was closer than I thought, so it's definitely viable. Now it's just a matter of persistence until I perfect it. Second attempt and Obor is at 27 HP, but I'm only at 6. No. Back again, third attempt, similar situation to last time. I'm very easily within the 1-hit range, but let's focus up and hopefully make 0 mistakes. Yes, and we got it. First Obor kill on the account. Token drop from Obor himself, but let's open up the chest and see if we can spoon an upgrade. No, 93 lore runes. One of the more useless items on the drop table. With 1 kill under my belt, I want to look at other possible ways to kill Obor. Not flinching him with melee isn't really possible considering how well that went last time. And since I have access to 0 range weapons, magic seems like the best path to getting a kill the way Jagex intended. For this, I'm vastly under-equipped and under-leveled, but I have a plan. Step 1, get magic up. Level 50, unlock snare, binding Obor in place for 10 seconds, so I need that as a bare minimum. Last time I had some air and mine runes left over after spooning the black sword. Around 500 casts of Windstrike, in fact. So let's use those up. With Obor now being killable, the drops that I now need from Black Demons has reduced. The only unique drop of use now is the Black Axe, which while not making woodcutting available, it is the best axe I can obtain. That combined with them being the only monster in the area having a negative magic defense makes them the best way to train up magic, at least for now. Before we get any further, I just want to say thank you for the overwhelming response to episode 1. It means a lot. Also, if you're back again, maybe consider hitting that subscribe button. It helps a lot, thanks. 25 magic, 26, 27, 28. I might be able to squeeze in 29 if I use some chaos rune. 29 magic. And now it's time for a rune resupply. Didn't get anything too interesting sadly from the Black Demons. A second black sword in the total, 19 kills on the account, which is interesting. And to reiterate, my best source of air runes is Chaos Druids, and the best for mind runes is the Men. Incoming with the first 60 on the account, 60 strength, 41 pro. Around 4,000 kills in, and I actually managed to get lucky with an Edgeville clue step. So 2000-ish kills early, but obviously I need to get 3 more steps to have a 100% chance of a casket. With the murder of 4,000 men and 4,000 chaos druids, I've gotten a decent amount of runes not being used up in the casting of Windstrike. So now it comes down to the best XP per rune. So these are the rune types I have available from these 2 NPCs. Of course, air strikes use air and mind runes. Airstrike would give more XP, but it's negligible unless I can find a monster with a specific earth weakness. For the lore runes, since I can't teleport anywhere, the only option is telekinetic grab at level 33, giving a whopping 43 XP per cast. For the body runes, most of these spells require water runes, which I am lacking, so the only option would be Monster Examine. However, that requires 2 mind runes, which means they're better off being left in the bank. And that leaves fire and nature runes. Now, it may not be efficient, but I think my best bet is to use them in the casting of low level alchemy. However, my ratio is a bit off. I'm lacking some nature runes. So I think it's time to add another NPC to the rotation. Thugs. Dropping 2 nature runes as a 1 in 10 drop. They also have the same drop rate of easy clues as the men, although they do have 18 HP, so they're not as viable of an alternative, but I may still get lucky. Let's head over there and see how much damage they deal and increase that nature rune stack. So here we are. It honestly doesn't seem too bad. Let me delve a little more into their drop table. Alongside the nature runes, they do drop some catalytic runes, albeit rarely. They also drop a supply of ores, coal and iron to be exact, and iron bars for some reason. Due to there being no primary training method for training smithing yet, not too useful, but could very well require camping later on. The last notable drop is actually the steel axe, since there are wood cutting and fletching tasks in this chunk. There should be a lower tier axe available somewhere, but knowing there is an upgrade that will save me a good amount of time is very nice. It's been a hot minute, but 261 KC and I got it. The 1 in 128 steel axe drop. Good item to add to the bank for the future. Also up to 54 nature runes, and that should almost give me the perfect ratio of runes for low level alchemy. Let's head out and train some magic. I'm lacking items to alch actually, so I'm going to head over to the general store and buy up some jugs. 2 packs should give me more than enough to use up the 150 nature runes. I also think I'm going to buy 2 bowls while I'm at it, since they don't stock many at a time and they will come in useful for the cooking grind later on. Let's get casting. Wow, you wouldn't believe how much faster this feels in comparison to Windstrike. Just ignore the amount of time it took to collect the fire runes and we're golden. 30 magic, 31, 32, and that's going to be the last one with only 12 casts left. But I have stacked up on 300 casts of Windstrike for this inevitability, so back to the Black Demons we go. 2 more kills down and I'm 200-ish XP away. It is now time to see if we can save hundreds of hours with step 2 of the master plan. Level 50 magic is the easy part. The second stage of this master plan is not equipment, but a single item, a staff to autocast. To me at least, seems pretty essential. The one that comes to mind is the Staff of Air from Easy Clue Scrolls, which would on drop rate with the available steps take roughly 700 hours. Forgive me, but it's time for some big numbers. The best easy clue dropper in this chunk is Men at a 1 in 128 drop rate. When an easy clue drops, there is a 3 out of 166 chance it is within this chunk, or roughly 2%. When you add this together, it equates to 1 doable step per 6,400 kills. Clue scrolls require a maximum of 4 steps to complete, so that is 25,600 men kills per casket. Finally, the Staff of Air is a 1 in 12 per casket, and that brings the average men kills up to a whopping 307,200, or as I said, roughly 700 hours. That, I'm not gonna lie, is a lot of men. But I may have an alternative method. If this works, I can bring that 700 hours down to less than 100. So, if you hadn't already guessed, this plan involves the Earth Warriors. They are locked behind 15 agility because of the monkey bars. But my thoughts is I might be able to attack them from the other side of the bars. And if I can do that, then I should be able to telegraph the drops, including the 1 in 64 Staff of Earth drop. I could be wrong, but if this works, it will speed everything up by at least 600 hours. I could lamp agility to 15, but if I do so, then it makes it so I unlock the Varrock sewers, since there is a viable training method for agility with the bars. And with the Varrock sewers, that also unlocks Briarfighter and Scurious, and I'd rather not add 2 additional bosses to my task list. Anyway, let's go test this out. Oh, this might be annoying. The spiders are aggressive. I did bring a melee weapon just in case. So that's the spider situation dealt with. Now I just have to wait until an Earth Warrior comes near the bars. And there we go, cast successful. I think this might be doable. So I'm going to knock this one down, then the final test I can telegrab the drop. Okay, so I just missed out on the level, but it was also a nothing drop. Let's try that one again. So it turns out there's only one specific warrior I can attack. The others, I'm outside of their range, so they'll just flee. I think I better mark the correct one to save on runes when I work out which one it is. And there's 33 magic, so now I can telekinetic grab. Perfect. And there's the kill. It's nothing again. Okay, so a nothing drop is not that rare. It's at a 1 in 4.5. Right, third kill. And there is a seed drop. Finally, it's testing time. Can we grab the seed? Yes, we can. Kill number 10 for death runes. So it takes between 20 and 30 casts per kill, so one more kill and there's time to gather up some more runes. On the way back now, and it occurred to me I do have a decent amount of chaos runes that I could use in this grind, but I can't hit the max hit with them as of yet since I don't have level 35. So let's see what runes I have that I can use up. So I do have a fair amount of Law and Air runes still, so I'm going to have to go a bit unconventional and train by dropping something and telekinetic grabbing it back again. 400 casts will almost double my magic XP, so let's go. Right, coming up to 50 casts in, this is horrible. Going to come back to this at a later point. I've got the level for Firebolt, so now all bolt spells hit a max of 12. Good enough for me. Back at the men with another massive milestone coming in. 43 prayer. Protect from melee unlocked. Will definitely be useful in the future. I think I'm gonna stick here for a while. Coming in with a milestone, and with this kill, that is 5,000 men. I'll pop up the loot on the screen now. Good amount of herbs, but the amount of mind runes is tiny in comparison. 43 clues so far, and only one doable step. Every non-doable clue at this point makes me happier and happier for Earth Warriors. Up to 64 strength now, and that means I can hit 9s on accurate, and that actually increases my chance of one-hitting men, so very nice. My aim right now is to gather 300 mind runes, then head back over to the Earth Warriors, as I still have an excess of air runes. And here we go, 4 kills in, so 16 kills total. Nothing of note as of yet. only bringing 100 casts at a time. It is the wilderness after all, and I've seen enough frame videos to know people do hunt here. I'll be back with anything of note or the end of the trip. We will see. And it's close to the end of the trip, 32 kills in. Mind runes are very low once again, but before I have to go resupply again, I want to test out the wind bolt, see if it's largely better or not. Oh, and they are seeming more accurate. A 12! That's the highest this account has ever hit. Finishing the runes up, and I'm at 36 KC. So that's 24 kills for the 300 mind runes. About right. It took around 8 hours of men killing for those mind runes. And when I run low on air runes, I'll have to spend a few hours at Chaos Druids on top of that. So it's roughly 2 kills an hour effectively. Not great when you say it like that, but 32 hours for the drop rate compared to the clue grind, not bad at all. 55 attack. I don't know, I just really like how 55 looks in the skill tab. I think we have another clue. The hover over says Purdue. When I was looking around, there was a guy upstairs in the general store. I think that was him, but it says Catherby. I'm so confused right now. Yep, this is Purdue. I think I've got to look this up. Okay, so Purdue has 6 different locations. He's an item retrieval service kind of guy. The clue hover over was so misleading. The more you know. 400 casts of wind strike. Here we go again. So this should equate to around 20 Earth Warrior kills, bringing the total up to roughly 56, just below the drop rate. I hope I get lucky. Coming up with the 64th kill, I managed to stretch the runes a little bit, a few bolts at the start to make more of an impact, then finish them off with wind strikes. But anyway, if you haven't guessed already, I have not got the drop. The drop table is a bit different from all the other NPCs in the area. More seeds and herbs. So that's a nice change up at least. 73 KC, and I just hit 40 magic. And there was a lot in that. Teleport to house, maybe the second teleport I can use after the Varrock teleport, if we even go that way. But this also is the level for Mystic Staffs. That would be nice, but I'm not sure where I'd get a hold of one of those. Oh well, 10 levels to go until I unlock Snare. Hopefully I get the staff drop before that. And resupply time yet again, and the death of this man is exactly kill number 10,000. Sadly, I think I do need to change it up a bit since my stack of air runes is almost diminished. Better doing it now since Chaos Druids do drop mind runes too, albeit more early. Still only one doable clue step, so no need to juggle it as of yet. I can just dump it into the bank for the Chaos Druids. Mini update, the lamps are few and far between, but there is level 4 Slayer. They're definitely speeding up now, so that is 3 more lamps for another level. 60 attack, getting up there, onto defense now. 60 HP, third 60 on the account, and 375 total level. Using up my runes once again, and this is kill number 80. For some lore runes. 200 mind runes left. Failing that, I might use up some chaos runes, hopefully to some success. And that is a new drop actually. Steel Spear. If I didn't have a black sword, I feel like it might have been a better weapon for flinching at least. Continuing with the interesting drops. There is a Ranar seed, a 1 in 200 drop. It might be transformed into some prayer potions in the very, very, very distant future. Kill number 90, and I assumed it was a similar rarity to the Ranar seed, but I got a Cadentine seed, which turns out to be a 1 in 1900, before getting the 1 in 64 staff drop. Crazy. 100th kill, and can we get the drop? No, another nothing drop. Shame, really running low on runes once again. Incoming with 42 magic, so that unlocks Monster Examine. So actually a spell I can use. But, as I said way earlier, that requires Mind Runes. So if I have some spare ones left over in the future, it might be a useful training method, but not yet. Back at Chaos Druids again, around 6,000 KC here, but there is 60 defense, base 60 melee stats obtained, which is very nice. So with that 60 defense, if I show the runes in the bank, that is 741 telegrabs and an extra 1400 air runes for the strike spells. If I grab the extra mind runes from men, then that is enough XP plus a bit extra to go all the way to 49 magic. What I'm trying to say is step 1 of the plan is pretty much completed. The only thing left is grabbing that Staff of Earth, and I should be able to mage a kill on Obor. What's this? It's the second clue of the same one. In a way, absolutely amazing, but this also means I have to have one or both of them on the floor all the time. If I don't pick it up every hour, it's simply deleted. Not sure I'm going to enjoy having that in the back of my head the entire time. But it is what it is. I'm actually about on the drop rate for this at 11,300 KC, so 40 hours of men for this. I've grabbed just under 600 mind runes, and I'm not gonna lie, I have got the itch to use them. Oh my, it's real. The Staff of Earth at 123 KC. Let's grab it and head out of the wilderness. Knowing my luck, I'd get PK'd and have to get another one. And I really don't want to do that. And with that, I just need to train up a little magic and unlock Snare. Then we're ready to get at least one proper kill on the hill giant that is
Obor.
This is the runes I have in my bag, so I've put it into a calculator and I should be able to get at least level 49 using the Iron Law for telegraphs and the body and mind runes for Monster Inspect. So let's see if I can make this hyper efficient by combining them. So I said this in episode 1, so now I can do whatever I want in this little section. Not a very useful little section, but very happy. Well, I am trying to make it useful. So I'm telegraphing the bones when they spawn, and then in the downtime, monster inspecting the rats. Probably the most efficient I'm going to get as a chunk man. But I'm definitely burning through the monster inspects faster than the telegraphs. It's the first time I think I can be sure that no one else in this game has ever trained yet doing this specific thing. It's a very odd feeling, definitely. So I managed to get up to 45 magic, but that's the end of the monster inspects. I only ended up using 100 or so telegraphs, so 600 of those left. I'll see if I can find a more effective way to use them all. So I've not really mentioned this since I don't really have enough water runes to make it viable, but with the lack of food in this chunk, it may become useful later on, and that is the Bones to Banana spell. Since bananas heal 2, it's not much worse than the cooked rat meat, which is the alternative. Just got enough for 15 casts or so, but any XP is good XP. 46 magic, and we're back to the telegrabbing. The most effective method I've thought of is dropping a full inventory of jugs, then picking them all up. Much more relaxing compared to switching tabs all the time for a singular jug. 48 magic, about to hit 49, got close, only 2 casts left. I'm almost completely out of runes, so let me grab a few more mind runes and I'll see you then. And I'm back, and I'm at Hill Giants. They have a 25% earth weakness, so with the new shiny earth staff, this should be very effective. Plus, I actually need to grab a giant key for this Obor kill. 2 tasks, 1 Hill Giant. I like it. So, this is the first Quizmaster ever on the account. I've got very unlucky with them. Plus, they don't spawn in the wilderness, so there's that too. Obviously, I have to go with the mystery box for the possible weapon upgrade, and no. 3,000 coins. Better than the 1,000 coins at least, but no mithril scimitar. And I ran out of mind runes yet again, but there is key number 1. 4 kills later, and key number 2. I wanted a second key so I can see how much better the flinching method is with my higher melee stats, and I'd like to see if it made much of a difference. It also turns out bones to bananas was a horrible idea. Snare uses water runes, and the only real way to get some is Hill Giants, so I'm stuck here for a bit longer at least. Oh my god, I actually got spooned. Curved bone drop at 450 KC, that's a 1 in 5,000, so if I get spooned at Obor 2, then we can be done with all the combat in this chunk. That's crazy. So I think that's enough water runes for now, 42, so that's 10 casts of snare. If I need more than that for 1 kill, I really don't deserve the kill, to be honest. Right, let's get this magic level and get on with it. Finishing the magic grind with low alking. Fitting, since it was one of the first things I started out by doing. I've got 100 Chaos Druid heads. They're not going to be of much use to me, and they alchal 119 GP each. Money is probably the most useful thing I can turn them into. And there is 50 magic. Finally, let's get off to Obor. So my only concern going into this is if clues despawn if you die while they're on the floor. I couldn't find anything about it, and it's not the end of the world if it does, but I hope not. Okay, going into Obor. No armor, obviously. My only concern is the damage taken. I've got 6 prayer points, so they won't last long. Hopefully I deal enough damage so I can kill him before I run out of triangle sandwiches. Meta food. There's the Pragon. That didn't last long. Now the challenge begins. Snares seem to catch a good amount of the time. Okay, I've snagged under him. Not much to say. The way the damage was going, I'd die before killing him. So let's try flinching the rest of the kill. Or not. Well, at least I got the answer to the question of if the clue despawns or not. It's still there, so that's 20 hours progress not lost at least. So last time I'm using prayer on this account until I get an altar, but I want to try a kill with the protection prayers active. Let's go. And there we go. Second Obor kill on the account. Took around 1 minute and 34 seconds. Can I get a drop from the chest? No cosmic runes. I take it back with the law runes. This is the most useless drop. And back for the final time, at least for today. As I said, I want to see how the flinching goes with the increased stats. So let's get him set up and I'll see you closer to the end. For you, it was a few seconds. For me, it was 10 sweaty minutes of not missing clicks. It didn't speed up much in reality, the waiting to hit really slows it down. But can we get anything? Really? More cosmic runes? Sure, why wouldn't I want more cosmic runes? Okay, so that's enough Obor for today. My Obor KC is 3. I just have one thing I want to follow through with though, and that is the clue scroll on the floor really bothers me. So I'm going to head back to the men and see if I can grab 1 or 2 more easy clue scrolls to get the casket. And there it is, the third doable clue scroll. Just under 15k main kills, and that increases the blue completion chance from 34 all the way up to 68%. And I think I'm just going to round the case up to 15,000 and send it, honestly. The idea of another 20 hours here isn't too appealing, especially considering I don't need the staff anymore. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna send it. 2 Vanica steps and 1 coffin step. Going to send the coffin step first. Step 1 done, and not a doable step. Step 2, not the casket or a doable step. I'm getting nervous now, regretting it a little bit not waiting for the 4th step. Step 3, and that's not a casket or a doable step. Ouch, that hurts. Oh well, there's always going to be a next time. And with that, it's going to be the end of the episode. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time when I'm going to get through the most chunk tasks yet.